Live, local. This is Fox 12 Now.
Hello everyone, this is Fox 12 Now. Welcome back. Thanks for joining us. If this is your first time watching, we appreciate it. We are live streaming here every weekday, and I always like to remind people of that because if it is your first time, there's lots of things for you to check out. And if it's not, well, you know already, we've got plenty to watch at kptv.com under the Fox 12 Now tab, or on, of course, the Fox 12 Oregon app, or on YouTube, or wherever it is that you find us. Thanks for doing so. But Thursdays, at about this time every week, we are joined by none other than Eric Goranson from Around the House Northwest. Eric, always good to have you on here. And as always, you've got some great tips, tricks, advice, different things that people can actually take into their lives and actually sometimes save some money, which is what we're going to be doing right now. And so looking at it from this, we're going to keep on going through. So, and we're live in case anybody didn't know. So sometimes, things happen a little bit weird, but we're here. Eric, how can people save some money on their DIY projects?
Man, there are so many things you can do out there because I think the worst thing you can do is pay retail for stuff. So there's a lot of different options out there for people that are wanting to save just a little bit of money. First off, there are some great resources here in our area. And one of those is a place that I just love shopping for used stuff. And well, there's a couple places actually that. So look around in your area. You know, of course, we have, building materials resources, which is down on 12th and Sherwood Road. Those guys are awesome. So I love what they do down there. They buy like seconds. So they have like doors and plywood and wood. And you can go down there and get it a fraction of the cost of what you would pay for retail at your home center or lumberyard. And they always buy stuff. So there's always new stuff coming down in there. So BMR is a great place to go find those used or new stuff, but maybe it was a misorder on a door or, that closeout type of stuff. They go out and buy a truckload of it, bring it in, and you can get stuff at a fraction of the cost.
I love that. Anytime you can get something for a fraction of the cost is great. But also going to those kinds of places are fun too. Even if you already have the project, you may see something else and it's like, you know what, I could do that project and that's a pretty good deal. I might as well get it while I'm here. So yeah, I love that. So good advice on getting some discounted prices.
Now we've got our Habitat stores, those are around, of course, as well. And there's a lot of those used type places around where they get donations that are a lot of those nonprofits. So I love those. That's another great place to shop. And, one of the things too is nowadays Facebook Marketplace has a ton of stuff out there. Like somebody finishes their project and they ordered too much and now they're closing stuff out there. So I had to find some for a project. I had to find some cedar shake shingles, for the outside of your house. And it was going to cost me $500 for this bundle of them. And they found them for 50 and just needed to be cleaned up a little bit. So a little bit of labor, you can save a ton of money on stuff like that, which can really help you on a project, especially when you're just doing something small and you don't have to order a ton of it. You just need a little bit to get that project finished up.
Love it. All right. So look for those good deals. What are some other things that people could do?
Some of the mistakes people make is like painting projects. You go out and go to the store and you go, oh, I'm going to buy this cheap paint. It'll be great. That's probably one of the most expensive mistakes you make because it takes twice as much paint, twice as much labor. So buy a little bit more paint as far as the quality, get up above that mid-grade, and maybe you can 1-coat it or 2-coat it instead of 2-coat it to 4-coat it.
So yeah, get some of that better stuff. And I've heard you talk about that before too, that it's just not worth going for the lower end.
No,
in the long run.
It's just not. And it's one of the biggest mistakes people make. That and caulking, everybody's out painting outside their house or doing touch-ups. Spend a little bit more of the money. Don't buy the $3, buy the $10 tube of caulking, and it'll make a huge difference. You won't be doing it twice in a year or might hold off for 5 or 6 years even.
Okay, so get the better stuff. Getting the better stuff is good. What's another good thing is people are out there working on their projects?
There are Facebook groups out there that all they do is it's a group type of thing where you join this Facebook group and it's like Home Depot and Lowe's closeouts. And so when those guys discontinue stuff, let's say they're changing out brands in the lighting department and all of a sudden all their ceiling fans are on closeout. All of a sudden, one day it'll be full price. The next day it could be 40% off. And so these groups, and you can join them on Facebook, and they will show you, hey, I saw this at the store today, and everybody shares their stuff there. and you could buy stuff at half off or even sometimes a penny for something that was a few $100 because they're closing it out. So when you see it on there, you got to go right to the store and get it. But regionally, they'll close stuff out. They'll change brands or it'll be out of season. And that's where some of the biggest discounts are on power tools and outdoor lawn equipment, that kind of stuff, because they need it out of there and they just mark it down to the basement and kick it out the door. And that way you can find it. So those Facebook groups are another secret for finding those brand new pieces that you're not paying retail for.
So worth joining some of those and monitoring that just to see if something happens like that. So great advice there. Anything else you think that people should know for their DIY project?
It's just one of those things, do your research and plan ahead for any of these projects. So that way you can go out and do your shopping and just start looking online. Of course, there's Craigslist and so many other places like that out there. But really, that's some of the secrets there of finding those discounted pieces. And, somebody's misorder could be your perfect piece for your project.
There you go. Save some money. Always good. Well, for Around the House Northwest, I know we have a new episode coming up this week. So what can people expect?
All right, I'm going to show you how to resurface your asphalt driveway, how to go in and make that thing look brand new, add a few years of life back to it, and get it looking nice and dark again, because, our winters and our summers really take a beating on those things. And, July like this, when it's super dry, is like the perfect time to get that, because you can't have rain for a couple of days afterwards. So you can get out there, and it's just an easy project. It costs you, most people, a couple $100. And it looks like you put brand new pavement down. So it's a good time to go out and do that. Looks good and adds life back to it. So that's just one of the projects.
There you go. So there's one thing from this week's episode, and there's always a ton of them on there. Anything else that you want to give a preview of without spoiling?
Yeah, I talked about it earlier, but we went out to building materials resources again, walked through and showed some of the great things you can do out there, all the crazy wood species they have, and some ideas of what you can do with that stuff. So we do a kind of a walk and talk with their manager there, Olivia, who's a great friend of the show. And we just walked around and showed you some of the cool things you can do around there, from massive wood beams that they got into really cool cedar that you could build a cedar chest out of. All the materials are right there for a project. And of course, like I talked about earlier, it'd save you a little bit of money too, because you're getting it on a discount.
All right. And that's just on this week's episode, with so much more too that people can check out and learn about on it. And I'm assuming we'll let everybody check out the rest of it themselves.
Yeah, I've got a couple of good tested tools that we tested out this week. You got to check out, because grab some really cheeseball stuff off Amazon to see if it works. And you have to watch that, because there was one that was so cheeseball and it really didn't work. But we give it a good old college try to see if we can make it work. And how is it that people can watch Around the House Northwest? Oh, of course, if you missed last week's episode, don't worry. You can catch it tomorrow morning, Friday morning here at 8 a.m. on Fox 12 Plus. And of course, the brand new episode we're just starting to talk about right there, 10 a.m. on Saturday, Fox 12 Plus again. And if you missed that one, don't worry. There's another way to catch it, of course. And that's at 6 p.m. on Sunday on Fox 12 Plus. And we're almost at 500 videos over there on YouTube. So we're starting to get pretty close, because this is our 75th episode this week. Congratulations, 75th episode of this. Breaking along, brother. That's incredible. And yeah, over 500 almost 500 clips there on YouTube, on the Fox 12 Oregon YouTube channel. So plenty of places to go there and check those out. And you definitely want to watch this episode. So Eric, as always, really appreciate you joining us. Thanks. Always good to hear all this stuff, all this advice. Oh, it's always fun. And anytime we can save money and get that project finished before we run out of money is a good day, right? Yes, it is. And for all of you out there, thanks for joining too. This is Fox 12 Now, and you can go watch those clips of Around the House Northwest and the Fox 12 Now interviews as well. So all there on the YouTube channel or the website. And we appreciate all of you joining us. We'll sign off right now. I'm Greg Dibbler. This is Fox 12 Now.